Okay, listen up, listen up.
It wasn't big. What we thought.
Okay, listen up. Now we got early elementary. Can I have all the elementary? Okay, can we take those? Okay, PK. Early elementary. No. Judges.
We just got up here. We just got up here.
First place standing back
Okay. All right, let's tally up our votes. All right. Judges, are we almost ready? We're almost ready. Okay, we have a first place, second place, and third place. Okay, for the first place, who do we have to win? All right, let's have the second place. Okay, hey there, we're gonna have the third runner-up is Dr. Spike. Okay.
Yeah, shoot.
Trick or treat. Happy Halloween. I am a elementary. Okay.
Yeah, that's easy. There was another one.
Okay, judges.
Ninja.
Okay, judges. Here's our middle elementary. Who's going to be the first place runner-up? Would it be?
We ready?
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's bring up the first prize winner. Second place. Third place.
That was too easy.
Okay. All right. Okay, we're just moving on along to the other side. All right, coming up this week. Teens and pre-teens. Teens and pre-teens and costumes. Marissa.
What are you guys?
Marissa. Okay, judges. Now we have the trees and preteen. She's a little girl. She has a costume on.
I'm not the Jordan.
I'm South Pole man. They don't have a costume either.
They got a costume.
He's South Pole.
He got his on.
Okay. All right. Here we go. These are the contestants.
Hey.
Okay.
We done. We ready.
All right, you ready? Let's have the first place.
Any little girl who can grow a beard is first place.
First place.
First place.
Any little girl who can grow a beard is first place.
Chopper girl.
Hollywood Woodrow.
Where's your bike, Chopper girl?
That's not a chopper girl, that's what is that? What do they call it?
Okay, with the music.
I'm supposed to be. We already won.
No.
Toby, don't complain. That way we don't have a chance.
Oh, they are? Okay. Who on one?
You look like JJ.
Yeah, they did. They have to leave line.
If you won, you have to leave the line, okay?
I don't mind.
If you already won.
You won. You don't get to win again.
Okay. Everybody that won is out of the circle. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, the music has started. Let's move the circle.
All around the mulberry bush.
Let's go. Move the circle. All right. Move the circle. The music has stopped. Get a number. There's a number. Grandma, what number did you have?
4.
Number 4. Number 4. Right here. And your space is Let's go. The music is about to stop. Hello. Up. Get number. Grandma, what number did you have? Number 1. Yay. All right, stay in places. Stay in your places. Okay. All right, we have a new contender. Music is number 7.
Oh, she won.
Come right in and win.
How about that?
That's cheating.
Okay. Okay, music is about to come on. It's on. Music is about to stop.
Get on the number.
Grandma, what number did you have?
Number 9.
Number 9. Tatiana, yay.
Anyone gonna play?
Okay, you ready? The music is on. Move the circle.
Music is on.
Music is on. Move the circle. Listen to the music. The music is. Okay. The music is stopped.
Get on the number. Get on the number.
Everyone get on the number. Grandma, what number do you have? Number 2. Number 2. Yay.
All right, Ty.
Seems like the trick is to
Big cookies.
Okay, let's play the music. All right, let's go. Move the circle. The music will stop. Stop.
They're going number. Hurry up and get it.
Grandma, what number do you have? Number 2.
Oh, that's okay.
All right, let's play the music. Let's play the music. All right, go on, Andrew.
Let's walk. Let's go.
Okay. The music will stop. Grandma, what number do you have? Number 3. All right, hey, go again.
Man, he was up there quick.
All right, let's play the music again. Circle movement. Okay.
Oh, you're right.
The music will stop. Grandma. Number 7.
All right, Jaleel. Hey, that's 3 in 1 family.
Okay, we got 3 more players. Let's start the music. The music has stopped. Number 8.
Darian.
Number 8. Right here. Okay, go get you your prize, sweetie. Go get your prize.
I told you, Darian.
Okay, let's start the music. Okay, let's start the music.
Now do even or odd.
Grandma, what number did you have?
1.
Number 1. Number 1. Okay, let's.
Paige, you can't lose now.
All right, Paige, come on. Start music. Start music, please.
It's all up to you, Paige. Come on, Paige.
All right, we're gonna stop the music. Grandma, what number did you have?
Number 9.
Number 9. Number 9. Paige, come get your cake, please.
You can't play again.
That's a really neat one there, isn't it? Good choice.
Yep.
Then I guess they'll come back again tonight, so it's a double different this year. Is that right? Tonight's another night? Well, in our last few sermons, we've been talking about defining moments. And we've talked about those times in our lives when something happens, or something happens to us, or something happens to someone we know, or we face some kind of a truth in our life that really changes the direction of our life. It changes the way we think. It changes a lot of things about us. And it's those defining moments a lot of times really start redefining who we are. And we talked about in John chapter 4, the woman at the well, we talked about her defining moment was when she met Jesus at the well. And he sort of mildly or kindly confronted her about being divorced 5 times. She'd been married 5 times. And the man she was living with wasn't her husband. Jesus sort of gently confronted her with that. And she changed the subject to worship. And Jesus went with that. But then he gets back to, hey, you know, he really challenged her to see who he is, the Messiah. And it's always a defining moment when you first realize, or when you that time, maybe you remember this, that time in your life when God became real to you. Yeah. You know, when he was real in your life. It was a time in your life where you're like, man, this is serious, and I need to make some serious decisions. I remember that for my life. I was smoking pot one night. No, this is not the normal way to become a Christian. But I was really high, and I thought I'd died and gone to hell. It was a defining moment for me. I mean, I really was scared, and I remember walking home from a party. I told you this, some of you this before, but I remember walking home from a party and stopping at a policeman's house and telling him, hey, there's a party over here, and he's like, get off my porch. You know, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, like, just get out of here, you know. And so, but it was a defining moment for me because it really meant, for me, it was when I really started searching for God. It's really when I made a decision, okay, I've got to get right with God. No matter what it takes, no matter what I do, whatever it takes, I've got to get right with God because this is real. And it was a defining moment for me. I still look back at that, and it was like, that was the time when God, actually that night, I promised God on the way home from this party. In fact, I remember throwing my glasses away and taking my shoes off because I thought they were evil or something. I don't know, it was weird. I was messed up, right? But it was a defining moment. I'm not saying, you know, and I don't know that God was in that. He might have been, he might not have been, but I know it was a defining moment for me. It was one of those times in my life where I'm like, I really made some decisions, and I really started to change. I didn't have any support around me. I didn't know anybody that was a Christian except for my dad, and I didn't really relate to him much. So I ended up hitchhiking to Florida and started going to church down there, got baptized down there and stuff. So, but it was a defining moment in my life. And we have defining moments, and a lot of times these defining moments are when we face an inconvenient truth. You know, there's something in our life it's there, it's been there for a while. Somebody might finally say something like, hey, look, this has been going on for a long time. You've got to deal with this. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, you're right. I know I've been trying to brush it under the carpet and ignore it and all those things, but I know if I'm going to keep my marriage, I'm going to have to deal with this. I know if I'm going to ever get out of debt, I'm going to have to deal with this. And I've got to deal with these things in my life. And it's those people in your life that help you to realize the defining moment. Those are people that you really need to appreciate. Because it takes a lot of courage to help somebody look at themselves and realize where they are spiritually, where they are in life, where they are in their marriage and their finances and those things. You know, it takes a good friend to say, hey, look, you know, you're just messing up. You need to, you know, stop messing up, right? And so, but we need to appreciate those folks in our lives, those folks that will tell us the truth. We also looked at Nicodemus. Remember, Nicodemus was the opposite of the woman at the well. She had a lot of baggage. Had lived a life of a lot of regrets. You know, she had 5 regrets that we know of. You know, 5 husbands. She regretted marrying 5 guys at least. And so she had a lot of baggage. But Nicodemus comes in. He meets with Jesus, and Jesus just confronts him. Hey, unless you're born again of water and spirit, you can't enter the kingdom of God. And he's a religious guy. He's been counting on his heritage, his ancestry. My father's father is Abraham. That's who I'm counting on to save me. You know, I know that it's, you know, I was circumcised on the 8th day. I've kept the law. You know, he was the teacher in Israel. So he had a lot on his resume saying, hey, look, I'm a good guy. And so if anybody has a right to be close to God or have a relationship with God, then Nicodemus did, because he had a nice looking religious resume. But Jesus said, unless you're born again of water and spirit,
you can't enter the kingdom of God. And of course, then he goes on to tell some other things. But I was thinking about Nicodemus this week and about this new birth. Because Nicodemus says, hey, I don't understand that. You know, I need to, go back into my mother's womb and be born again. I'm like, let's go interview his mom and see what she thinks about it. And I'm thinking, he's like, no, that's not going to work. My mom, I know my mom. She's not going to let me go back in and come back out. That's not going to happen, right? Right. It ain't going to happen. So Nicodemus is like, how can this be? How can this be? And so Jesus, he gives him some illustrations about you remember the bronze serpent that Moses put up and reflecting or pointing toward him, Jesus himself on the cross, that was coming up. That was really what Jesus wants him to see, is that your salvation is going to be through me, even though you don't quite realize all that now. But Nicodemus did have some, I guess, perspective on this new birth, this idea of the born of water and the Spirit, because he'd read the Old Testament, and the Old Testament has some references to the idea of the Spirit, that you need this new spiritual birth, this new change, and this new birth is the idea of a radical, total change. You can't depend on your religious upbringing, you can't depend on your mama, your daddy, how religious they were, how they went to church, and all those things. You have to be born again. There's a new, fresh start that begins this relationship with God. So what we're going to do today, sort of in honor of Halloween, is we're going to look at Ezekiel 37. And it's the valley of dry